Hi, and welcome to another episode of Brush Tips with Cheri. Today we are doing a special painting in honor of Pride Month. So you can see over here we have this amazing rainbow tree. This is one of my most popular paintings, probably one of my favorites also, because we get to use a different technique in this one. We get to start with like a watercolor background and work our way into a deep acrylic background or topping with a bunch of different bright colors. So let's get started. We have, obviously, a rainbow of colors. So we have red, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple, and black and white. We're also going to be using two different brushes here. We're going to be using our Big Daddy brush, like always, and this square brush. And you know what, let's just add in this round brush just for good measure. Okay, so we have these three different brushes which we're going to use, and we are going to start with the background. The background is a washed down purple. If you don't love purple and say pink is your favorite color, or blues or greens, whatever you choose, you can put as the background. Purple's my favorite color. So I'm just going to wash down this purple. I'm going to grab a scoop of this white, and we're just going to add this in here. So as you can see, it makes it look like a watercolor. We don't need to go all the way up because this part up here is going to be the top of our tree. Okay? This is a super easy, fun painting. I encourage you to take your time on it because it's just so many different fun techniques. Just bring tiny little bits of that purple up. You hear that canvas? All right. So this painting here was actually, one of my friends helped me do this one. She's an artist also. She is local too. She does amazing work. But she helped me kind of design this one. We did it a couple years ago outside my house. We were just painting in my driveway, and that's how this one came about. So, excuse me. Don't forget about your bottom, because we know I'm famous for forgetting about my bottom. So make sure you hit the bottom. And if you have to, you can grab a tiny little bit of that purple just on your brush, very, very little bit, and just pull it up. Just one stroke. See how it just adds some of that purple color in there? So this painting is actually, I'm going to go ahead and send this painting off to Wadsworth Brewing Company. I noticed this month is they're also, obviously everybody's celebrating Pride Month, but they are doing a special too with their raspberry pale ale, which I'm super excited to try. But they are doing a Born This Way beer. So if you get a chance, check out Wadsworth Brewing Company and their Born This Way beer, raspberry pale ale. And the proceeds, the proceeds to that beer go to Summa Health Pride Clinic, which I know is huge for a lot of people. They use a lot of their resources, so make sure you check them out. And I think I'm gonna go drop this off to them sometime this week. Maybe they can do like a little auction or something, or raffle it off or whatever, and donate that money back to the Summa Pride Clinic. Okay, so now that this is drying, you know, at home you get to pause it and wait a minute and let it dry, but here I have to actually fan it, which is good because under these lights it's kind of hot with this sweater on too. All right, so we're gonna fan this out. Fan, fan, fan. Let it dry, let it dry. Look how fast I'm moving. Makes it look like we're fast forwarding it. All right. Perfect. So now I'm going to come in and I'm actually going to start with red. So what I want you to do is just water down that red. And I'm still using the Big Daddy brush here, okay? Because what I'm going to do is use the side of my brush. Oh, I almost feel a little winded today. What's that about? All right. So you see how it's kind of drippy and watercolory? Is that even a word? I'm just making up words, but we can do that here because there's no rules in art, right? Perfect. We want to make sure that we bring this down far enough. Now you could also do this in black and white. So you have a grayscale tree. Perfect. And I have that Born This Way song stuck in my head. And then let it dry on top of it. This is a lot of fun. This painting is probably one of my favorites to teach. So you guys are all in luck. All right, see that red right there? So we can grab some orange. You don't even have to clean your brush off. Just get it a little bit wet to water down that orange a little bit. And come in with the orange. And we want to go over the red because we want this to kind of all blend together. If you feel like you have too much red and your orange isn't bright enough, then you can go ahead and clean off your brush. I feel like I want a brighter orange, so I am going to clean my brush off. You can use a smaller brush for this too if you want, which is where the square one would come into play. I'm going to come in though and do a little detail work on that one. Here's some orange and add it into the red. Red, orange, yellow. It's like a rainbow bright. All right, yellow. Now be careful when you hit the orange with this. If you want, you can definitely let it dry in between. You just don't want to add too much and then get it too much into the yellow and see how, or the orange, and see how it brings the orange back over. And it's okay if you do that, because we're going to come back through and we're going to add some more texture to this tree. Here's the yellow. Make sure that once you get to the yellow, we're kind of starting to go into the green here. Make sure that you have enough room for the green and the purple. If it's easier for you to come along and start over here with the purple right after you do the red, just to at least give you a good line, you can do that as well. And don't forget about your sides like I do all the time. Let me clean my brush off just a little bit. I'm going to add that blue in there. Water down that blue a little bit. Then this way you know that you have enough room for your other colors. If you start with the purple and the red, and then kind of work your way over. So I absolutely love Pride Month because I love the rainbow colors. I also know a lot of amazing people that partake in Pride Month, and I'm all for it. Like, let's get all the rainbows. If the whole world was rainbow, it would be a better place, right? All the trees were rainbow trees. It would be a very colorful earth. Let's add some green in here. Perfect. I'm loving this already. Let's water this green down a little bit. I feel like it's super thick. And this is all about building layers, okay? So we're going to be building some layers here. Let's get this all colored in. And you see I'm just like hitting the canvas with it. I don't even know if you can hear me hitting the canvas with it, but you can definitely see it bouncing. Just hitting it here with my side of my brush. I want it to have a little bit of texture, okay? Did I forget to do my purple side? Let's take a look. Oh, I almost got it. That's not bad. Let's add this little purple on here, or blue. There we go. Perfect. Perfect. I love it. I'm just going to clean my brush off, and I'm going to come in with this little square brush. All right, so let's switch brushes here. I forgot to add some yellow here. Just come over it with some yellow. Bring it into the green, and I didn't do my top up here. Clean this off real good. Obviously, if you went in with a dry canvas during this, you wouldn't have so much blending, but I want some blending, so I want it to look like this is all blending together. It's okay to bring some of the yellow and green in. I'm going to clean off my brush real good. Basically, this is just like quick dash marks. Let's come in with this orange again. And bring some orange up into here. I love the orange. I think it just helps it pop. Just keep bumping it up. Perfect. Last night we did an open studio. Mondays we do open studios, and it was so fun. We had so much paintings going on. It was a little crazy. We had 13 different paintings going on at once. And nobody picked to do the rainbow tree, which I was kind of bummed out about, but it's okay. Maybe somebody will one day. I come in with this yellow and just add some more yellow. I feel like my orange kind of overtook my yellow. We're gonna let that dry, and then I'll come back in with it. It almost looks like the orange is on fire. I love it. I'm gonna come in with the red now. Just add some more red here. And I'm gonna bring some of the red down here, up into the orange a little bit, maybe a couple spots into the yellow. Actually gonna bring some over here too. Now, a really great way to get a really deep purple is to take the red and mix it with some of the purple. So take a little scoop of the purple here, bring it over and mix it with the red. You might need some more. And then watch this. Look at that. It just kind of connects it all together. Here we go. I love the different colored reds. Now, obviously, if you mix white with it, you can give yourself a little pink, which is okay to do also. How's this looking so far? Good. Remember, feel free to pause the show if you need to. If you're watching it on demand, hit pause and then come back to it. I'm going to add a little bit more yellow over here. Bring some into this green. I feel like we lost a little bit of yellow here, but that's okay. Remember, Mother Nature isn't always perfect, and if she's making a crazy rainbow tree, then so are we. Bring some of that yellow down. Let's take some of this blue, and we're going to add some more blue, just some darker blue into the green, even over here. Just mix that together a little bit. And that yellow and blue is going to make a different colored green, which will also be awesome to help with the different texture styles that we're adding here. Now again, if you want, let it dry in between these layers and just add it on top. I love bringing some of these colors over here. How's this looking? We are doing awesome. The trunk is so many wonderful colors. You're gonna love when we get to the trunk part. I'm gonna add this blue on real quick, and then we're gonna add the green, and then we'll play with the trunk. We can come back and put another layer on if we need to. Let's bring some of this blue into this purple. Good. Perfect. Perfect. Clean off that brush real good. Let's scoop up some of this green. Just add it on top of there. Now again, you can use your big brush for this if you choose. It's okay to use your big brush. Bring some of this green over here. Bring some over here into this blue. Perfect. Remember, we encourage you guys to paint along with us. So if you are painting along with us, please send us a picture. You can check out our Facebook page, brushtipsstudio, or you can even send it to WCTV and she will make sure that I get to it. So keep that in mind. Ooh, let's add a little purple in here, dark purple. Just real quick, and then we'll let it dry. Okay, let's clean our brush off really good. So this is where that little round brush will come into play. For those of you who don't want to use the big brush for the trunk, okay? I know that we've talked about making tree trunks before. Let me set this down real quick. I'm just going to flip my canvas over. Actually, you know what? I'm going to do it on the other canvas since we're going to be giving this one away. So let me grab this one. I'll bring it over here. So on this one, when we go to make the tree, I want you to bring it all down into one spot, okay? And then you can work your way out like this at the bottom. But if we bring it all into one spot, then you'll have a tree. Now, some of you might want to go like this first, and I don't want you to do that, okay? So follow along with me. Do not make this trunk wide like this. We're going to bring it all down into one spot. Okay, let me stick this back over here. And we're going to start with black. So just take your brush, your round brush, roll it through your black. If you roll it, then you get a really, really nice point. Okay, so roll it through. And then just start up here and work your way down. Start up here. And it's okay if we're pulling colors. If we're pulling some of these colors, that's okay, because we're going to come back in and we're going to actually go over it with some of the colors. Just keep bringing them down. Make this a little thicker as we go. Take your time doing this tree trunk. And you can almost make them like you're skipping a rock. Just use the very, very tip of your brush and just barely touch your canvas. And it'll kind of show like they're peeking through. Okay. Here we go. Let's cover that up right there. And we're just going to thicken up these branches here. Bring them down. You can thicken up this one, bring it down. We should be just about centered. Same thing. And you can even spread out your roots a little bit. We all like roots, right? There we go, perfect. So now I want you to clean off your brush, get all that black off that brush. And I just want you to circle around that red and kind of bring some red into here. You can see I'm doing it a little shaky because I want it to be a little textured looking trunk, okay? I'm going to clean that off again because my black is getting into that red. I'm going to scoop up some orange, so roll it through again and just start adding it wherever you would like. And you can even add it through your trunk a little. Ooh, we gotta fix that guy. Look at that. Add some through here. Perfect. Clean that off. Let's grab some yellow. Now the yellow is really gonna pop with the black, so bring it into your reds and even your purple. Whoa, that was a lot. Roll. Whoa, did you see that big clump just fly off my plate right there? That's what happened to me the other day at the studio, and I forgot to clean it up, and I saw it there. I thought, dang it, why didn't I clean that up? But it comes up real easy. If you ever do happen to get paint on your floor, honestly, like Windex or some kind of spray, glass cleaner, just spray it on there, let it sit a couple seconds, and then just go and wipe it off. It actually comes right up. That's why I'm not rushed to scoop that up. A couple weeks ago I got a little spot on there too. All right. Look at this. How's this turning out? We got us a fabulous rainbow tree. Let me thicken up this trunk a little bit. I'm going to come in with the green. I'm just going to outline this a little bit. I want this part thicker. I feel like it's just not real thick there. We can even add some of this black into it. Bring it back down. Make it a little thicker. Make it all even, so that way it looks like an even tree trunk. There it is. And I just scooped up black again. Let's clean that off and get our green and purple, or blues in there. Roll it through, add a little blue. You can see how it just kind of, I'm almost going like right next to the branch with these colors. Perfect. I love it. Love it, love it. This is turning out pretty amazing. All right, so I am actually going to come through with a tiny little bit of white. Just add a couple little highlights just to bring out some of those colors. Roll it through the white real softly. See how it just brings that tree to life. And don't forget to check out Wadsworth Brewing Company for sure. They have a really nice outdoor patio in the front of them. They are right in downtown Wadsworth. I've actually had some kids classes and I send the parents down to Wadsworth Brewing Company. I tell them, hey, go down, hang out at Wadsworth Brewing Company and come back and pick up your kids in an hour. And they're okay with that. They walk right down there. All right, so real quick, we're just gonna finish off this painting. We're gonna take that round brush. We're just going to add a little bit of texture in here. Can even add some falling leaves. Okay, here's the red. Let's erase that, clean our brush. Let's do some yellow. I feel like the yellow is always a good option. just helps it. Add some yellow down there. Add some more through the tree trunk. Hit this up over here. Add a couple little spots here. Do a couple through the green. Do a couple through the orange. Remember, we lost a little bit of that yellow. That's okay, we're just bringing it back. So, as I wrap up this painting, you can definitely walk away and come back to it. Let it dry in between. If not, you have some blending like I just did, and that's okay. And then, of course, like every great artist, we're going to clean off our brush. You can either grab a Sharpie or you can just take it with your name or with a brush, twirl it through, and then you can just real lightly sign the bottom. Okay? And just like that, you have another amazing masterpiece. Again, feel free to play around with it, let the layers dry, and come back to it in a little while. Thank you again for watching, and make sure that if you are painting along with us, you're sending us your pictures, completed pictures. Thanks again.